Hello everybody, so today I'm reviewing High Rise, directed by Ben Wheatley and written by Amy Jump, who's written most of Ben Wheatley's films before, like Kill List, Sightseers, and A Field in England. Kill List, I love. Sightseers, love as well. And A Field in England, I enjoyed it. A very weird film, but I still enjoyed it. Ben Wheatley is a director that has never disappointed me. This is based on the novel by J.G. Ballard. It stars Tom Hiddleston as the main character, Robert Lang, Jeremy Irons as the rich person on the top floor, Sienna Miller, Luke Evans, and yeah, that's the main. As Luke Evans, Richard Wilder, and then we have James Purefoy, and yeah, there's many other people in this film. A lot of actors I did recognise, but that's the four main people: Tom Hiddleston, Jeremy Irons, Sienna Miller, and Luke Evans. So High Rise is a film that I was very excited for. Ben Wheatley, like I've said, as a director, has never disappointed me. I've always enjoyed his films, always enjoyed something about his films, but High Rise is a film that I'm very disappointed by. Now, High Rise is the film of all these classes in this tower block. The higher class is on the top floor, middle class is in the higher class is in these amazing apartments, really beautiful apartments, like gardens with them and everything. Middle class, not as great apartments, but they're still good apartments for them. And then the lower floor doesn't have as great apartments. The power's always cutting out because all the rich people use it for their parties and stuff. And inside this tower block, there's a supermarket, there's a swimming pool, and there's the elevators, high-speed elevators, and there's all that sort of stuff. But the thing that the book had also was that there was a school in there. You never have to see anything about that. There is also about the high-speed elevators. You only see that the lower class and the middle class have their normal elevators, and the higher class has the really nice mirrored lifts and everything. And this doesn't dive into as much stuff as the book does. Now, this is a story of all the middle class and the lower class wanting to fight against the higher class and reclaim the building, take over, and just sort of riot and go crazy. And you get that riot moment of the film. That's the story of the film, that they're going to fight back at the rich, because the rich are just fucking with them all the time and they're messing everything up for them, like with the powers going on the lower floor because of all the parties happening. The supermarket starts to lose power, and just everyone sort of goes crazy in this tower block. Now, in the book, it goes into bigger things like bodies piling up and people going crazy and just doing so much stuff and just things just going over the top. But the film gets to that moment where you think that things are gonna just go absolutely mental, but it doesn't. And you see moments of that and see little things, and I was like, okay, this is gonna get really good now, it's gonna get crazy. But I was really bored by High Rise. It's a shame, because Ben Wheatley, I thought, was going to be the director that could really do this and could make something incredible. This film does have a brilliant score, it does have brilliant cinematography, it's a very dark film and it speaks about class, and the higher class has all these things, but they don't dive as much into the higher class things, about them talking about the poor. And there's like this little joke where one of the characters says, oh, the poor, they just want money. What's all that about, when it's the rich that have all the money and everything? They have that little joke and you have those things. But with the lower class and the middle class fighting back, you don't see as much as that. And you get this really sort of rushed ending. Now, the opening of the film is pretty much the end of the film. And with that, there's sort of this thing where you don't really worry. That's not a spoiler, but there's something that you don't really worry about because of that. Now, everyone does a brilliant performance in this. Tom Hiddleston is brilliant, Jeremy Irons is brilliant, Luke Evans, Sienna Miller, they all do a great performance. Luke Evans as Richard Wilder is this really weird character. He's sort of violent and crazy and does something very horrific in the film that is something in the book as well. But in the book, there's something where the people don't know who did it, but in the film it sort of just happens very early on. Now, here's the thing, with books being made into films, we don't always get everything that we want from them, and that's this thing. High Rise does try to do a lot from the book, but it doesn't go into as much as it could have done, and that's the big disappointing thing for me. And it doesn't go as sort of crazy as in the book with the riots and everything, and I was hoping for that. It feels very bland and boring and doesn't really go to the full potential that this idea could have, because you have this tower block, people not really seeing the outside world. You sort of see people going to their jobs every now and again. Tom Hiddleston's character going to his job, and then you see one of the other characters going to the job, but you don't see the outside world, and you don't really see the talk of them not really understanding the outside world. It doesn't really have that to it. So it doesn't really do what I want it to do. It doesn't really go to its potential, and doesn't do as great as the book. So that's the thing for me. It's a well-made film, but with this being in production for so long, and the person that produced it wanted to do it for so long, I'm forgetting the name, it's on the screen right here, Jeremy Thomas. Jeremy Thomas has apparently wanted to produce it for like 25 years, and they've only got around to it now, and I feel like they could have done a lot better with this. So High Rise only gets a 2 out of 5 from me, because I was very disappointed. It's not a bad film. It is a good film. There is good cinematography, there is good score, everyone does brilliant performances, but it has a very rushed ending, and it doesn't really go to its full potential, like it should have done, and doesn't dive into all the ideas that it has. It doesn't go as deep as it could have done, so that's the disappointing thing for me. But that's my review for today. I'm not sure when High Rise is getting a release. There hasn't been a release announced in the UK or the US yet, but I saw it at London Film Festival. I do say it's worth checking out. Maybe you'll enjoy it. If you liked the book, you'll enjoy some things about this. But yeah, it doesn't do as much as the book should have done. That's my review for today. Thank you very much, and I shall see you all again very, very soon. Goodbye.